Business Happy Hour, your number one show for all things business and entrepreneurial. I am your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group and 813 Mortgage right here in Tampa Bay. 20 years in business this year. I wish I had an applause button. Yeah! My wonderful co-hosts here, an amazing team from Mahara and Associates. I have Ksenia and Rosa. How are you ladies doing today?
Good.
Wonderful.
It's a great Tuesday today.
That's right. Oh, Rosa just gave it away. We're not in the studio early on Sunday mornings.
Oh, yeah. Whoops.
No, a lot of people ask that over the years. Like, do you guys really get up on Sunday morning and do your show? And
At
it's like,
5 a.m.?
Yeah, no, we
No,
do
we don't.
not do this, but we love our listeners. Matter of fact, I just ran into one of our listeners when I did that speech at Pro recently that you two ladies joined, which was
Yes.
awesome because we actually picked up some business from that.
Nice.
I think it was good. One of our listeners came up to us. I think her name was Gloria, if I remember correctly. So Gloria, if you're listening, we all want to say hello. I didn't get a chance to introduce y'all to her, did I? Or I sent
I think we
a
met
text?
her right at the end, maybe.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure you had a chance to. So it's fun because Ksenia and Rosa have started as my partners here, my co-hosts on the radio show starting in January this year. And you have not experienced what I have over the years, and you're going to. Two things are going to happen to you being on the radio, and it's a lot of fun. One, you're going to run into people, and they're going to say, oh my gosh, I hear you on the radio, or I listen to you on the radio all the time. You know, like Gloria came up and Gloria said she's been listening to us literally for over 7 years. Right?
Wow.
So you have longtime listeners. But there was this one time, okay, and I will introduce our guest in just a second. I'm just being long-winded right now. But there's this one time I was in ABC Liquor on Treasure Island, okay, there with a family on the beach. And I'm buying some beer or something like that, and I'm in line, and I'm on my phone like always, and I'm talking, blah, blah, blah. And this guy taps me on the shoulder and goes, are you on the radio? And I'm like, yeah. What makes you think that? He goes, your voice. He goes, I listen to you every Sunday morning, and I could not remember your name, but I remembered your voice. And I just wanted to say hi, and I'm a longtime listener, and blah, blah, blah. And I gave him my card, and we talked about real estate and all this stuff. So it's really interesting that people will pick up on your voice. So get ready, ladies. You're going to be at the Lightning game or something, and somebody will be like, hey.
We know you.
We know who you are. And of course, we're going to start doing this on Facebook Live. I'd like to start doing that starting next week when we have our new logo up and our new intro and all that, which is going to, actually, everybody just got to hear our new intro, and we haven't even heard it yet. That's the beauty of radio. So we're going to find out what that's like probably when we hear our podcast tomorrow. But 10 years almost on the radio here on the Business Happy Hour, two amazing co-hosts, Mahara and Associates. We have a guest in studio. Rosa, why don't you introduce our guest, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Mahara and about the real estate market.
So before we introduce our special guest, Ksenia has some market updates that she's going to go over.
Well, let's do it, Ksenia.
Oh, this is really quick. I just wanted to, boast for the company. We currently have 73 active listings and already 103 pending listings and sales.
Whoa, wait a minute. So can I add those two numbers together? For 176.
There you go. I like it.
Listen, I'm a mathematician. You can see how fast I am with this, right? Carry the 7, add the 3. But no, that is crazy.
Yeah.
And we're only literally in the second week of February.
Yeah.
You know the stats. You two are amazing realtors, but the stats are, most realtors close 6 transactions a year. So if we were going with average realtors, that would mean the Mahara and Associates would have to have like 1,000 realtors or something. But you don't. You guys are not that big. But you're
115.
115. And so you are a decent size brokerage for sure. But the numbers that you guys do, it clearly says you know what you're doing.
We do a lot for our size and the agents that we have. But yeah, we've been busy.
Yeah, that is crazy. That's like a deal for every agent in the last 45 days. Which is unheard of. So we'll take market update since you did a little on that. Everybody's talking rates right now. Actually, you know what? Let's introduce our guest first because I have a feeling she's in our industry, so she might want to chime in on this.
Yes. So our special guest is with Casa Fresca Homes, and we just like to say that even when you're purchasing a new construction home, it is always best to have your own representation for the purchase. So before you begin your journey, call us and we will help you navigate the process, as well as introduce you to communities and quick move-in properties that you may not even know are available. So once we find the perfect home for you, we will negotiate to get you the best deal, as well as the maximum incentives. We will stay on top of all the contract timelines and help ensure that the builder is meeting their timelines. We will be there for you every step of the way, and it will not cost you any extra money since the builders already have commissions built into their pricing. Having said, we are excited to introduce you to our guest today, an amazing sales rep with Casa Fresca Homes. And they're very reputable. The word is spreading fast that they are blowing up. We just closed one actually with Madison with Casa Fresca Homes in January. And we're about to close one here soon too together.
Yay!
Yeah.
James, we got to get an applause button in here. Yeah. It's funny when I do this stuff at my office studio, nowhere near as nice as us coming here to 970, but we have an applause button, we have a laughter button, we've got all these funny buttons. So I'm going to get us some buttons.
Yes.
How about that?
Yes.
And then we're going to click these with all
That'd
this
be
stuff.
awesome.
Wouldn't it be awesome, right?
I love it.
We've got like a pixie dust one over there. Like, ding, ding, ding.
Fabulous. You need a whole board.
I
So,
know.
Madison, if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you
Absolutely.
do.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, thank you guys first off for having me. I mean, I love meeting with people who are passionate in the real estate industry as well. And what a great time to be in the market. It's
Oh, yeah.
awesome. And kind of like you touched on as well, if you're curious in new construction, I always advise that buyers get in touch with a real estate professional first, like you guys. And that way you guys set up the appointment with us. That way they have two people on their side that can kind of help navigate everything throughout the process. And you guys have been wonderful to work with. So I'm definitely excited to do more
Thank
work
you.
with you. But yeah, a little bit about me. I am from Tampa. I'm a Tampa local, which is kind of hard to come by
What's
these days.
up? Come on.
Are you awesome?
I am. I'm a fourth generation tampon.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm kind of a little bit newer than that, but I've been here for at least 20 years now. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's been really cool to see all the changes in the Tampa market and kind of how things have progressed here. It's honestly an awesome place to live. And it's exciting seeing so many people come from out of state.
Well, it's exciting. So 20 years, put it this way, everything has changed in 20 years.
Yeah.
If you were there before that, it was the same city for the 20 years before that, right? But
Yeah.
you have been here in some of the best growth that we have ever seen. I mean,
Yeah.
I used to call us like the little big city, but now we have all the stuff that the big city does.
It's insane. I completely understand why people are like, I love Tampa. And I'm like, I can't imagine moving anywhere else at this point. It's a completely different city, even in the past 5 years, how much it's changed and the growth is incredible. So I do love when people are talking about how awesome Tampa is.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. So it's really awesome and incredible. And I also kind of got in the real estate industry. I grew up around new home construction. And so my dad was actually previously in it, did new home sales. So that's I kind of grew up in a model home basically. Never expected to get into real estate after that. But after going to college for a little bit, I was like, I kind of saw the growth and everything that was happening in Tampa. And I was like, how exciting would it be to be a part of that and help people, become new homeowners out here. So I've kind of always had a passion in new construction. And that's kind of how I got the job opportunity. And, once I got the job opportunity with Casa Fresca, I instantly jumped at it.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Florida Gulf Coast for 1 year.
Florida Gulf Coast.
Go
all right.
Eagles. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Now, I'm a Florida State grad.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
okay.
so
Yeah.
also-
Go Knowles too. My sister went there.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, we might have gotten screwed this last season if anybody wants to bring up football. Yeah. But no, that's awesome. So was that your first job getting into Casa Fresca, or did you?
So it was actually with our sister company, Homes by West Bay. I got a sales assistant opportunity to work with them. And I think in 2019 is when Casa Fresca started. And I kind of knew about them, but they had kind of just picked up, only had about like 2 neighborhoods at the time that I started with West Bay. And then they kind of approached me and were like, hey, we kind of are starting a new community out in Apollo Beach. We would love if you came on. And so I instantly was like, okay, entry-level sales sounds awesome. I mean, to work with first-time home buyers is super exciting. Like helping people like achieve a lifetime goal. I mean, it's the biggest purchase most people will make in their life. And to be in the opportunity of that, it's been really, really fun.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
Madison, you are so impressive because you just turned 24.
Yeah,
And
I
you've
did.
been in real estate for 4 years now.
Yes.
So good for you. You're doing
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, so I was wondering if it was our first job or not coming in, but that, I mean, great first job or
Yeah.
second job or whatever.
Yeah, so it was right before that I instantly started in property management, but I was helping like investors lease out their new construction homes. So
Yeah.
I kind of worked with some of the new home builders in the area, and that's how I kind of find out a little bit deeper and eventually end up with Casa Fresca.
God, I love it. What do you think? So I think we should go into a little bit of the market status. We've got a couple minutes left in the segment. What do y'all? Let's ask all of you. What are you seeing? We got 2 minutes. What are you seeing right now? Are you seeing a little uptick? Are you seeing? What are you seeing? Yeah,
Madison,
what are you seeing,
with new
Madison?
construction?
I'm definitely seeing, a lot of growth. A lot of people are coming back out and getting more comfortable. I think with buying a home again. I think a lot of people have finally gotten used to the news scaring them. And they're like, let me at least see what's out there and what there is to offer these days. I do.
Do you think they're getting used to the rates?
Yes, I do. And I think they're realizing that they're not just going to automatically drop down out of nowhere.
Right.
So I think a lot of people are exploring their options again and seeing that there are great deals out there.
So we don't have to wait for everybody like me with a rate in the 2s to die before the market's because like every day, I'm sure the two of you, like every day we talk to somebody like, okay, what do you want to do? Well, I got a 3.25 on my house. I'm not going anywhere ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
And I'm like, God, we all have to die.
Yeah. That's what it seems like.
It does. But to your point, you've been in this 4 years now. Now we've seen these rates have been high for 2 years, really almost 2.5 years. And at some point you got to get used to it. You just got to say, like, am I gonna pay 1,000%, which is renting, right? Think about that. What's your rate when you rent?
100%.
100%. Right, I like to say 1,000 just to scare them.
Yeah.
Hey, we're on the news, right? We're on 970. Be like, Lord, let's scare everybody. The rates are 1,000%. No, but it's true. Like when you rent a house, you are literally paying 100% interest. And I like to put it in a different perspective sometimes. I like to say, you're paying a mortgage. It's just not yours. That really resonates with people. They're like, wow, you're right, I'm paying a mortgage. So anyway, on that note, we're going to take a quick break here on the Business Happy Hour with Ksenia, Rosa, and Madison. By the way, if you like anything she's saying or you want to go check out these homes for yourself, you can go to her Instagram. I read my notes. At Casa with Maddi, Maddi, at Casa with Maddi. Very easy to find. And of course, you can find Frank the Bank on Instagram. And ladies, what's your Instagram?
Rosa loves Florida.
Rosa loves Florida. Ksenia, what's yours?
I'm with Rosa.
I'm with Rosa. Yeah. So it's I'm with Rosa. No, I'm kidding. We'll be back in the Business Happy Hour in just a minute. Stay tuned. All right. How'd you like that?
Awesome.
It was good.
No, it was super fun.
You did good.
Yeah, your voice was inflecting good. I almost was going to tell you you're looking this way, but it was picking up good. And then James is over in the sound room over there, so he can kind of mess with your levels and bring you up.
It's hard to
great
talk,
to me.
but stay like straightforward.
It is. Well, you know what's hard for me is this is where I have you guys on video, and I'm over here like looking at you. I'm like, I can freaking
Are
see
we
them.
on
Like,
video?
oh yeah, you want to see it? Yeah.
By the way.
Come over here. Look. Okay, actually, hold on. You don't have to come over there. Look. You see?
Oh, that's funny.
Oh,
yeah, I
nice.
didn't realize.
Right there.
Oh,
So
We
I
should
can
get
see
a
it.
picture of that.
We should.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good idea.
Instagram.
I'll totally get a picture of that. I like this little thing actually, and I'm not going to pull the cords. Don't worry, James. he's like sweating. He's like, he touched something.
I figured.
We should do a joint one or something.
Actually, I'll take a picture of that right now. Everybody smile for that thing. We'll all look at your cameras, which are right in front of you. So I'll have to look at
I guess
mine.
I couldn't notice that right in front of me.
Listen, you're on camera everywhere you go these days, so who knows? All right, ready? 1, 2. Let me look at mine. Let's see how that came out. Oh, it came out good.
Oh.
Are you on Instagram, Frank?
I am at
good.
Frank at what the hell am I? Frank
Something.
the dang it.
Somewhere.
Frank the Bank.
It's in there.
Frank the Bank
Didn't you just
Kodo.
say it?
Frank
Oh,
the Bank Kodo. It's at
okay.
Frank the Bank Kodo. You were not looking into your camera.
I know. I'm like, where is it?
Where is
It's
your
like
camera?
to the side.
Look to
I'm
your,
like,
look
look
to
it
your
up here.
right. Yeah, hold on. Let me get one more here real quick. Let me make sure okay, you're looking now. Perfect. Let me see everybody's face. Everybody's looking. I need to look myself now. 1, 2, 3. All right. Let's see how we look. Oh, yeah, we look awesome.
We're models.
We are models. God, we're good. All right, I'll send that to y'all, and we'll get some pictures at the end. All right, so that was good. I think we can go right into the second segment. Ksenia, you speak. Ask some of the questions or something. You come
Some of
in.
these
I'm putting you on the spot.
Want to go over?
Okay. All right.
So I'll bring us in. We'll BS a little bit. We'll talk about, you're seeing more activity. I'm going to talk about the rates really quick. It's on everybody's mind. I'm going to go down what the rates are right now, and then why don't you just throw in some questions? We'll start rocking and rolling. We're gonna force you. We are ready when you are, James. Hey, Tampa Bay, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour, your #1 show for all things business and entrepreneurial. I am your host, Frank the Bank Kodo, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group and 813 Mortgage for the last 20 years. You can find me on Instagram at Frank the Bank Kodo or Facebook, Frank Kodo. I'm in studio with my amazing, top producing, blow your mind numbers. Mahara and Associates, ladies, Ksenia and Rosa. I love that you do this update every week on this because we do the status of the market update. But when you throw out these numbers don't lie. Obviously they show you two know what you're doing, that Mahar and Associates is one of the premier companies in Tampa, but more importantly, it's showing activity in the market. So it's kind of cool every week where we'll talk about it and be like, you have 103 pending listings and sales already up for the year. Okay. When the average realtor is 6 a year. Okay. And then you got 73 active listings. So Mahar and Associates, I'm sure we can find it all over online, Facebook, social media. I'm sure we can see the listings if we do that. Is that how we do it?
Yes, maharaandassociates.com.
Boom. Let's spell Mahara.
Mihara.
I love it. So I'm going to do a quick rate update. Don't forget, we have Madison Is it Downard?
Downard.
Downard.
Yeah.
Downard. Madison Downard. That was close. Madison Downard with Casa Fresca Homes. Awesome sales associate. We're going to learn all about Casa Fresca and why Casa Fresca, what sets you guys apart. There's all kinds of cool questions we're going to ask you. But before that, everybody's talking about rates. So let me pull it up real quick. The rates come out every week. Last week when we were on Google looking at the rates, it told us that the average interest rate across the country was 7.55%. Okay, sadly, that's not true. The rates are much lower than what they're telling us.
Not true.
I know, exactly. Sadly,
come on,
smack
Frank.
me in the face, right? No, I'm glad it's not true. So the truth is, the rates are much, much lower than that. They're in the sixes. Here, I'm going to just run down it really quick. We can banter, and then let's get back to Casa Fresca. So, as of yesterday, by the way, you know how the news dictates the interest rates? Well, apparently some numbers came out on inflation today, and they weren't as good as the Uncle Joe tells us they are. They actually were worse. Even though he's saying Bidenomics is working, it seems to not be going in our favor, which is not good, but it's great for interest rates. So I think rates, I'm willing to bet by tomorrow we see a drop in rates, okay, which if you're listening Sunday, I bet you anything Monday you're going to hear all about good, nice, low rates. But I will tell you, as of right now, you are at on a conventional loan with just 5% down, you're at 6.375. Your APR would be 6.59. FHA, you with 3.5% down. We are locking 5.5% 30-year fixed. I like when Madison's eyes opened up
That's
over
awesome.
there.
That's a steal.
She's like, whoa, now I know where you're sending all your turned down business. APR is 6.3 on that. Your VA, 0% down. No minimum credit score for veterans here at Lincoln Lending Group is going to be 5.5% as well. APR 5.992. And bank statements, which a lot of people, if they can't prove their income, you can put down as little as 10% on a bank statement loan, and you could be as low as 6.99% right now on a bank statement loan. So if you guys are worried about rates, listen, don't pay attention to Google. The rates are much better. And now we're going to talk about using those rates. And what do you do? I understand we have some questions for Maddi at Casa with Maddi, M-A-D-D-I.
We do. So, I mean, yes, it's definitely picking up.
That's good.
And we've noticed, there's a lot of interest in new construction. And how could there not be? There are so many good deals out there. So that's one of the reasons we wanted Maddi on here. I mean, builders are stepping it up and, definitely competition for the resale market. But yeah, tell us a little bit more, what you're seeing, how busy you guys are.
We're pretty busy. I'm not going to lie. I think a lot of new home builders, like you kind of said, are stepping it up. It's definitely to our best interest to, try to get people lower interest rates.
Right.
So that's a lot of things that we do as builders to try to get people through the door is by doing a forward commitment to be able to show those lower interest rates. It looks much
Tell
more
us, what does that
attractable.
mean, a forward commitment?
So you can probably speak to this a little bit better.
It's okay. I'm going to make you be dangerous today.
Yeah. So basically, it's typically, I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this. It's typically when a builder will basically give a chunk amount. I believe it's almost like a bond that they'll buy previously ahead of time to get a lower interest rate and secure it for the buyer.
Yep. And so forward commitment, forward lock, different ways to talk about it. Mm-hmm. There are programs, a lot of lenders are doing that, where basically they're taking money and applying it towards the interest rate up front. Mm-hmm. And I think in the last year or two, that was a really good thing because the rates were going up, right? Yeah. So what's cool for the builder is if the rates are coming down, then it's actually a good thing for you guys because you're forwarding, but it's going to cost you less,
100%.
right? Here's the other cool thing, and I'm just going to mention it before Maddi goes back into more about Casa Fresca, is that marry the house, date the rate, guys. You are not locked into the rate forever. You can refinance that rate anytime you want. Mm-hmm. So, get into the house you want, get into this beautiful new construction property, and don't stress. The rates are going to come down, and you'll get into something lower. So tell us more about Casa Fresca. What, are the houses... Are they ready? Do we just walk in and buy a house? Or like, a lot of people hear new construction, right, Ksenia? And they're like, well, what does that mean? You got to go build it for me? Like, is it like a hamburger? Is it ready? Like, what do we do?
Their homes are great because I asked you that question before, like your lead time, and I was impressed, because they're spec homes, but it's pretty awesome because you get the process started early.
Yes.
So then you really don't have to wait, 9, 12 months.
100%. And most of our homes are anywhere out from 45 to 100 days from closing. We typically list a home when it's going into drywall. That way you're only about 45 days out. So we can do quick move-ins with us, or you can build if you're a little bit further out from moving. Say you're moving from out of state and you need at least 3 or 4 months. We have options for them too.
Or if you have a really picky wife at home, who's like, I have to pick out everything.
Yes. And so that is the difference between us is everything is pre-selected. That's why we can build on a quicker time frame.
Okay.
But our interior packages, we always say one of our sayings is boldly unboring because our packages.
Wait, what is the saying?
It's boldly unboring. That's kind of
boldly unboring. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So we try to be a little bit different as Casa Fresca, and that's kind of why they came up with our company. Is a lot of the entry level builders, a lot of their interior packages look the same and they're a little outdated.
Okay.
Our stuff is LVP. It's quartz countertops. They're all very fresh and modern. So you can kind of get a feel. Even our floor plans, when you walk in, they're all open concept. We're very different, I think, as well as the exteriors of our homes. We do brighter coastal colors to go for a very Key West look. Our style is just very different. So that's one of the things that boldly unboring. That's our huge thing.
I love it. I love it. And on that note, boldly unboring, we are going to take a break here on the Business Happy Hour with Rosa Ksenia from Mahara and Associates, just selling everything in Tampa. And of course, yours truly, Frank the Bank Koto here from Lincoln Lending Group. Love having Maddi from Casa Fresca Homes on. We're going to learn a little bit more about the difference in buying new versus buying, I'm going to say, lived in. Existing, right? We don't want to say old. Anyway, we'll be back in the Business Happy Hour in just a minute. Stay tuned for more great info on new construction. Boom.
Cool.
How we doing?
Good. It goes by fast.
It does go by fast. And I'm over here like snapping pictures trying to see because it's weird, like having you here and my camera's here, like your camera.
We're all over.
I know. I'm trying to figure out what can we do to make us even prettier on here. Let's see. But this is looking good. Let's see. Yours is just perfect because you've got FLA and you're talking right into it. Let's see. Me and Ksenia.
Yeah. Are you hearing me okay?
You're coming through great.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, your inflection is perfect. It's when we have guys on, like, remember the people last week? That dude, like, was barely talking.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude. And then his buddy was great, though. But he was like,
Really quiet.
Nobody's going to hear you on the radio.
You made me feel more comfortable, though, so I like that.
Yeah.
You're like, at least people can hear me.
All right. This
You're like,
me
God, Ksenia, quiet down. You're loud today. I don't know. I love it. Hey, you know what's funny? I listened to one of my really, really old shows this morning when I was getting ready to send Berlander some of the recordings. And I remember I told you that our other guest, Doug, he was like the quiet guy, and Ryan and I were the loud guy. Well, I forgot. And you have already picked up on it. We should do it. Like, you should be like our stat girl. Like, you should have some info, some stats. That's what we did with Doug.
Okay.
And it brought Doug in like right away, and it made him real comfortable, and then he became louder over time. You know what I mean? But I listened because like Ryan would do this and Doug would do this, and Doug did the Tampa Bay Lightning update. Ryan did stats, and Doug did like different stats on business. But anyway, just a thought. If you want, put a few things together, and that'll be like your thing, and we'll create that. And eventually we'll get to that where we all, I say the mortgage, we'll have like a thing like, hey, let's do this update. And when there's sports games, we can always do an update. Hey, Tampa Bay Lightning update. We kicked butt this week. Blah blah blah, and gets people.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So you got questions? We know what we're getting into. I'll bring in.
Yeah. So I'll mention the whole countertop since we were on that topic because I love that.
That's beautiful. We've got plenty of other stuff we can ask too. Y'all flow. And let's see. This is yep. You look good. Okay, we look good. I'm ready, James. Whenever you are. Hey, Tampa Bay, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour with Frank the Bank Koto and Ksenia and Rosa from Mara and Associates. We are your real estate dream team. So you listen in every Sunday morning. We're going to have great information for you. We're going to have new guests, business owners, real estate people. We're always going to go over the rates with you. Ksenia's going to bring some stats for us. Rosa's always going to be here just chatting up real estate with us the whole time. We're going to have a great time, so we want you to stay tuned. And by the way, we are also a podcast. All you have to do is go to iHeartRadio, go to the app, go to the website, and just type in the Business Happy Hour, and it'll pop up. If you're watching us right now, we're going to start putting these on YouTube, but you'll see our logo behind the screen. That logo is 9 years old. I think the ladies and I are going to design a brand new logo.
Yes.
And hopefully for next week, we'll have something really nice for you. And hopefully you're enjoying our new intros as well. We're playing around with that. If you have any feedback, you're always welcome to text me. We love hearing from our listeners. It's 813-765-1239. Again, 813-765-1239. Any feedback is always appreciated. You can also go to our Facebook page, which we need to revamp as well. Have you ladies even looked at our Facebook page?
Not yet.
Oh, boy. We've got homework for all of us tonight. So we're going to look at our Facebook page. We've got a lot of fun stuff to do, but we just really love that you're listening to us. By the way, if you need any mortgage advice, I'm not the type of guy that's going to tell you to go do an application and let me pull your credit and do all that stuff. I'm not the bank. I'm Frank the Bank. But you can go to contactfrankthebank.com. Very easy to remember, contactfrankthebank.com. It's a very simple form, doesn't cost anything. It just gives me some basic info on what you want. And if I see that you came from the radio show, I am going to call you personally. And then if you have real estate questions, we're going to get you in touch with the ladies, Ksenia and Rosa from Mahar & Associates. What's the best way to contact y'all if they don't want to go to contactfrankthebank.com?
So if you want to text us or call us, you can call 727-608-6235. Again, that's 727-608-6235.
I love it. 727-608-6235. Very easy to remember, and go to contactfrankthebank.com. And I'll always get in touch with the ladies. So Madison Downard. Did I get it right that time?
Yep, that was
Downard.
perfect.
Boom. That was not a hard one. Madison Downard with Casa Fresca Homes. You love the new construction. We know a lot of people like new construction. I know, Ksenia, you had some questions because we were talking about you guys are, what is it? Not boring something?
Boldly unboring.
Boldly unboring.
Yes. So I wanted to, add to the boldly unboring because all of their homes, their finishing packages, they include the quartz counters, not just in your kitchen, which is what a lot of builders do.
Yep.
Just the kitchen, everything else
Put
is
crap
very
in the
plain
bathrooms.
Jane. They put the quartz throughout the bathrooms, which I just thought was a great, great feature. That way you don't have to, move into your new home, and if you want to upgrade it, you don't have to worry about it. It's all ready for you right there. And the other thing with the Wesley Chapel community that we really love, there are no CDDs, which I really have not seen in new build communities.
Whoa. No
I know,
CDs.
no CDs.
That
And
actually
they have amenities.
took a second.
Yeah.
So tell us more about that.
Yeah, that is one of my favorite things. It's like Wesley Chapel. I don't really know any other community around me that offers no CDD. So that is where we get a lot of business, is having low fees. Again, it's nice to have amenities, but we have what you need. So we've got a community pool, playground, dog parks, which I love. And I mean, it's a nice, quite quaint community compared to having your huge master plan communities. Of course, everyone sometimes wants a master plan community, which we have options there.
Wait, what is a master plan community?
I believe it's considered anything over 500 homes. So anything that has a ton of amenities is going to be considered that. And typically anything with your high fees.
Well, here, I tell you what. Can I put you on the spot again?
Go for it.
What's a CDD fee?
So I can help
Yeah,
with
it's a
that.
community development district,
Yes,
correct?
it is.
You're basically additionally paying an additional tax. That's typically how I explain it to people for the development of the community.
Right.
So people obviously had to originally develop the community, and that's additionally
Rosa,
what
you
we're paying
go.
for.
So
I love this. And she did not know she was coming into a quiz today.
yeah, so that's great.
I like it, though.
So my understanding of it is basically the builder, when they purchase the land, they also take out bonds, which is a CDD, and then it gets paid over time. And sometimes it might be 20 years, 30 years. And it is in addition to your property tax bill at the end of the year. And it can vary. It could be $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 upwards. So that's my understanding
So
of it.
Yeah.
the point of this, and I love YouTube gave great explanations. All right, and we'd like to do that because a lot of listeners are like, okay, great, no CDD, right? It's huge.
Yeah.
It is like Trump huge. Okay, this is it could literally save you $200, sometimes $300 a month. A month.
There's a community nearby that's almost $500 a month.
Okay, so let's put that in
Yeah.
perspective. I'm going to pull out my calculator real quick, my magic mortgage calculator here. And I'm going to see how much does $500 get you in purchase power. Okay, so if you find a community with no CDD compared to one with a CDD, I'm going to put this in at I'm going to put a rate of 6.5%. Okay, let me drop this down a little bit, carry the one, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we go. $80,000. I'm putting it on the screen. $80,000 is how much 500, I hit too many buttons. $80,000 at 6.5% is $505 a month.
That's incredible.
So you can go to one neighborhood and pay a CDD at $500 a month that goes nowhere, by the way. It's paying the bond back for the builder. It's not even your own real estate taxes. Or you can choose this neighborhood that Maddi's talking about here, and you could buy $80,000 more of a home.
Yeah, we get a lot of people that come in are only pre-qualified up to $350, and I'm like, well, what was the interest rate? Because we can always work on that,
right?
And we have way lower fees. So I'm like, let's talk through it and run the numbers because it's all situational.
Yeah. So actually, one of the questions was, what sets Casa Fresca apart? What sets you apart? I think you just kind of answered a couple of those.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, you got Maddi.
Yeah. The experience. And I would say every single person, no matter what community you visit with Casa Fresca Homes, they've hired amazing people. All of us work as a team where, most of us are from this area. And I'd say we're all amazing to work with. It's like if I know a better fit is in another community and I send them over there, I know they're 100% going to get taken care of. I love our team. They're all incredible. And we also just recently went out to Central. So now we're closer to, as we have some communities closer to Orlando. So we've kind of started out in Polk County. Who doesn't want to be close to, Disney? So we're definitely venturing out. But again, every single person we have on our team is incredible.
And I can attest to that because working with Maddi has been great. And then she left for vacation or took some time off. And her partner, Zach, he did a great job and helped quite a bit, and we got a deal done. Well, yeah.
We work as a family, and I'm like, that's what I appreciate is we care so much about our customers and their experience. We're going to make sure that every single person that walks through the door is getting taken care of, whether they're buying with me or buying with somebody else.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So what are some of the differences? Let's go back to I was going to say, if you're buying a not a used home. What's the right
resale.
word? A resale. I know. I'm trying to not to say it bad. So if you're buying a home,
a lived-in home.
Yeah, a lived-in home, a gently lived-in home compared to a brand new home. Besides all the off-gassing from the new stuff. No, I'm kidding.
Oh gosh.
Sorry, that's something my wife would say. Be like, you had a new bed. You got to put it outside for a week and make sure it off-gasses. I'm like, or what?
That's funny.
Or I might die from this. Anyway, what's the difference? Like, should we all of us talk about that? What's the difference? I mean, new versus.
Well, I think there's lots of perks. The new house smell,
which is exactly what came to mind when I said that.
There's a perk to just being the very first one to use the kitchen,
right?
Walking the floors. I mean,
first one on the toilet.
There's something to it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry, I'm just trying to think.
I can't say I've ever pointed that out before.
But how about warranties? Can you tell us a little bit about the warranties?
So that is a huge thing that I typically point out when people are looking at resales or new construction. The warranties are very important. Like you said, it's never been lived into, but as things get lived in, I'm like, you start to discover certain things that you may not upfront, even if you get inspections. So that's where with us, we have 210 warranties. So you get a 1-year performance guarantee. There's an on-site rep that's going to be there if you have anything that you need help with. We also come with all appliances. So you get manufacturer warranties for all those things. And then on top of that, we have a 10-year structural warranty. So anything structurally goes wrong for 10 years, we're helping you out.
That's actually
that gives you
really
peace
good.
of mind.
Yeah, it is. And I'll bring it. You're probably too young to remember all this. Do you two ladies remember the Chinese drywall that everybody went through here? Like my cousin was wrapped up in that pretty bad, and a lot of it was they didn't have warranties, right? And the builders came in and they used the Chinese drywall, and then the builders left or they closed their doors or whatever, and there was no warranty on any of that work, and then a lot of people literally lost their tails.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is absolutely crazy. And we know Casa Fresca does not use Chinese drywall.
We do not.
Let me say that.
How long have you been in business for?
Yeah.
Casa
Since
Fresca.
2019. So, and that's
relatively new.
Yeah, and that's
where sister company, right? To another big building.
Yeah, Homes by West Bay has an amazing reputation for this area too. We have the same exact owners. Our purpose is just a little bit different. Where West Bay is more of a custom builder. We are meant to be more of that entry level, more attainable price point.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
But still, same owners. I mean,
let's talk about prices. What are your price points?
So $375 to $500.
Oh, I would say that's like the perfect first time. I mean, unfortunately these days, the perfect first time home buyer price point.
Yeah, but especially for Wesley Chapel, I mean, an area that's developing so quickly and has so much to offer. And again, you're only 35 minutes from downtown Tampa. I think it's a steal.
I
Yeah.
mean, man,
Yeah.
you could probably get there even faster than that.
Yeah.
You know?
No,
Depends
we
on,
got
depends on
shops
what
at
you do.
Wiregrass, Upperson Lagoon. I mean, that area has
Yeah.
blown up so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, there's like a brand new Publix that opened up around the corner that has a bar.
Publix is always great. Oh,
It's a whole nother. Yeah.
whoa.
They're getting fancy up in Wesley Chapel. Yeah.
Publix with a bar.
Wow.
Now I know where my wife goes
Yeah.
all the time. I'm like, honey, what are you doing all day? She's like,
Publix.
yeah, Publix.
Grocery shopping.
Is it really? Are you joking? It really has
There
a bar.
really is a bar. Yeah.
Like-
it's beer and wine. So not liquor.
Okay.
But,
Oh, darn.
But there's a liquor store next door.
I mean, this is crazy. Where's the world going? So Wesley. So what, is the neighborhood that you're in Wesley Chapel?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Where's tell me, we got 35 seconds. Where exactly is that if they wanted to find you?
So it's right off of Handcart Road. So it's going to be, if you look up the community of Watergrass, there it's going to be right on the other side of that. You'll
Okay.
see all of our signs and marketing for out there too.
Okay.
And I can always give you the address if you want to put it on here as well.
Yeah, we'll absolutely. When we get back from the break, we're going to talk a little bit more about where exactly to find. And I know the ladies, you have some more questions here for Maddi, but if you want to check out some of the homes, go to her Instagram. It's at Casa with Maddi, Maddi. You can check that out. Contact frankthebank.com for any info on the mortgage you can qualify for. And Ksenia, how do they reach y'all? 727
608-6235.
6235, and you guys can get in touch with the ladies, and I'll also put you in touch with them anytime. Thanks for listening to the Business Happy Hour. We'll be back in just a minute with our last segment. Stay tuned.
we need to get that phone number. If you think I have your number memorized.
I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick. Yeah,
Okay.
we got to get the website. We got to get y'all some sort of.
We'll
cool-
do all that. So yeah,
We're
maybe
working on it.
we'll get a little.
See, I'm a visionary.
I mean, he did say that he wants me to do more. I mean, I have this stuff. I guess I could say,
If you
Hillsborough
want.
County. This
Yeah.
is the average and median. Should I?
If you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah. I think you should. I think that's
It's good
important
Well, I
information.
just get hesitant with the
Mhm.
stats. So like if somebody ran them to me and I'm like, reading them off, knowing that that's for sure the thing.
Yeah.
But like when I pull them myself, I just want to make sure it's all.
You're the expert.
Yeah.
I trust you.
Yes, exactly. Yep. So maybe we could say something like, when you give the address, just let me know that you
Yes.
came in,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I like to also know where business is coming from, just to
100%.
track.
And I always ask people too. Like it's on
Yeah.
our welcome form when people come in. I'm like, how'd you find us? I
Yeah.
always ask that because I want to know.
And it helps
Okay.
in review as you
Yes.
keep growing.
Yeah.
And then you can look back on previous years and be like, oh, okay,
Okay.
my Instagram, the radio
Yeah.
station, whatever
So
it is.
true.
So,
Okay, no, that's good. That's
Yeah.
a good point.
Everyone's doing good.
Yeah, I like it.
It's fun.
All right, rock and roll. Got Javier, my Spanish radio host, in there waiting. We're running them just a minute late. I'll introduce y'all. Let me get out of here. Oh, is this the wrong one? I got my old ass headphones on. These things have been used. Okay, rock and roll.
Frank, real quick.
You got some questions? Y'all ready? Oh, you girls ready?
Instead
We're
of the stats, can I do like the coming soon stuff at the end?
You do whatever you want.
All right, let's do
I'm gonna shut up. Go. Hey, Tampa Bay, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour, your number one show for all things business and entrepreneurial. I am Frank the Bank, your host, in studio with my amazing co-hosts, Ksenia and Rosa from Mahara and Associates. Ksenia has some awesome information she's going to go over with us, and then we're going to wrap up the show with our good friend from Casa Fresca Homes, Maddi Downard from Casa Fresca Homes. You can find her at Casa with Maddi, Maddi. And then when you need the financing, contact frankthebank.com. And then when you need the real estate agents, Rosa, take it away.
You will call us at 727-608-6235.
That's it. And thank you for listening. Don't forget, we are a podcast on iHeartRadio. So if you're only catching a minute of the show, you're driving or something, just go to iHeartRadio app or website, go to the Business Happy Hour, and you can listen to all of our podcasts. This one's going to be called Casas with Maddi. I think we're going to call it. How's that sound? Casas with Maddi.
like it.
I like
I like
that. That's going to be our thing. We'll put like Casas with Maddi / new construction homes or something. Not old homes.
Brand new homes.
Brand new homes with all that good smell. All right, Ksenia, what do you got for us?
Well, I just wanted to mention when I say we're getting busier, that means we're getting more listing calls. So there are listings that are not quite on the market. We're getting them ready. But if anybody is interested, then they can always call us. We'll get them more info. In particular, we've got a couple of beautiful homes that are coming up in the Citrus Park and Carrollwood area.
Ooh, that's where I grew up.
Yeah, I love that area. That's where I live.
Yes.
Both 4-bedroom, 3 baths, one with a pool. Both beautifully remodeled, one in the upper 3s and the other in the mid 4s.
Wow.
So not quite on the market, but if you want to kind of get a sneak peek, let us know. And then another beautiful home that's over 4,000 square feet loaded with upgrades in the Land O'Lakes area.
Okay.
And that one's going to be in the million.
Is that one on a lake by chance?
I'm sure it's got a beautiful
view. So I don't know about my wife.
It's in a great community. It's gated. I mean, it's got all the stuff.
I'm gonna have to introduce y'all to my wife. Reluctantly, she's like, well, she's always looking for something else. I love my house. My house is basically like 5 payments away from being paid off. I'm like, I just want to be happy right here. And my wife's like, I want to be on a lake. I want to be on a lake, or I want to be closer to the kids' school. What do you say?
Is she one of those people that's always on Zillow?
Oh, she's actually a I'd say retired real estate appraiser. She still has her license, but she doesn't do it. So she's on MLS. She's on Zillow. She's on every freaking website there is. Last night, she's like, oh, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. And I'm like, okay, I finished watching a show. I go walking through the foyer and I look in her office and she's sitting in the office. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, just this listing popped up and I'm just looking at it. So she's literally told me, she's like, will you tell your host and tell Ray, like if anything pops up to tell me? I'm like, no, I won't. So, honey, if you happen to be listening to my radio show today, now you might get introduced. But if you didn't listen to the show, I'm not even introducing you to them. Sorry, I will ask you later about that. But it's great to hear about these upcoming listings. Question for you, Ksenia, or Rosa, whatever. When you see more listings, is that indicative of the buyers are coming too? Like, is it a thing because there's going to be more inventory? Is it related at all or no?
I mean, yes. So, inventory has been low.
Right.
So I think activity has been lower because of that. People are kind of sitting still.
So they haven't seen the dream house yet.
They haven't seen the dream house. And I mean, you know what? When they do, I mean, there are definitely listings out there that are flying off the shelves. You price it right. It's a beautiful home. I mean, it's going to go. We have the buyers.
Yeah.
But
is that hot number still like around 400,000? Is that kind of like those are the ones that are flying when you see those go off? Or
I mean, yes. So our median price point is still around 410.
Okay.
I don't think it's hugely different from where we were at last year.
Okay. Got it.
But yeah.
About the same. I haven't really seen a major decline or anything.
No.
Either. So we got a few minutes left. Maddi, what else can we learn about Casa or new construction? I mean, we know you guys do have some incentives that if they work with you guys, maybe one day you'll give them if they work with Lincoln Lending Group. But does that ever happen?
So we work with preferred lenders. We work a little bit different. So we give options with people too. And they can typically, I mean, sometimes when we do forward commitments, it's with a specific lender.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But we kind of jump around and try to give a fair share.
Yeah.
But no, we would love to work with you. I think you'd be awesome. Especially, she did tell me as well that you guys have some very flexible options too with people, which is also really amazing. I mean, we want to try to get as many people as we can into a Casa Fresca home.
I love it. And that is kind of why I whispered that in the beginning is that I know that all the builders have their preferred lenders. We're not going to come in a lot of times and take that over. Maybe, you never know. But we want to offer the products that they don't have. So we like to play nice in the sandbox. Maybe, we'll have a lunch meeting, the 4 of us. We'll find out kind of where you guys stop and where we could start. And then who knows? This is, life is about who you know, not what you know a lot of times.
100%.
So I love it. So what else? What about Casa Fresca? I mean, I know, how much does it typically cost? Is this a loaded question for a buyer to get into a Casa Fresca house?
Well, we also typically, we give flex cash. So flex cash a lot of the time can either cover all your closing costs or you can use it towards buying the rate. So you've got options. If you plan on refinancing at some point, I would say less cash out of pocket is going to be better, so cover your closing costs.
This girl knows exactly what she's talking about. That is anytime I hear new construction, especially if I know that Lincoln Lending Group is not going to get the financing because you guys are doing something wonderful for them, I literally tell the client, go to the builder and ask them to cover every single penny of your closing costs. And here's my strategy. Get into the house practically for nothing. And then you already said it. What are you going to do? Refi.
Finance.
You
Yeah.
get a refi.
It's you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and then I get to work with you on the refi no matter what, right? Because you guys don't do refinance loans
Yeah.
with Casa Fresca, but they, I'm sure, do some wonderful purchase stuff.
Yeah. So there's lots of savings with new construction. Also, on top of that, too, with new construction, we build with more high quality materials in mind. So also, it's like we're more energy efficient.
Yep.
And obviously, electric bill is a huge thing in Florida. We want to kind of keep that down as low as possible.
Yes.
And we've got some really great stuff to be able to keep it down pretty low. Like we do the double E-panel windows.
Yes.
And really great insulation. There we
Good,
go.
good, good.
And
And
for insurance, it might be cheaper too. I mean, insurance rates have gone up. So
Yeah.
there's probably a
actually,
perk there
Ksenia,
as
that's a
well.
great point. Insurance typically is a little bit less on the new construction for all of those reasons that you just said. All the new stuff, you have a new roof, you don't have any worried about the inspections. And I love my favorite thing. We got a minute left. My favorite thing is the warranties. That when you're buying new. That to me is your biggest difference. You know, you can put a new and an old house next. I keep saying old next to each other, but you don't get a warranty like you do on a new house. So if you want the smell and you want the warranty, at Casa with Maddi. Right?
It gives you some serious peace of mind. Those warranties are incredible.
It does. So it's been a great show.
Yes.
Anything we're forgetting here? We're about to be done here.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me. And again, if you're interested and curious about new construction, definitely at Rosa and Ksenia. I mean, I love to work with them. So it's always better to work with two of us.
That's right.
Madison, thank you very much. We appreciate you. One last thing, I guess. At Mahara and Associates, we are always looking for fantastic agents. So if you're looking to switch, you know, you have experience, you're driven, please give us a call. We'll tell you all about Mahara and Associates and what it's like working there.
I love it. That's right. So Mahara and Associates, Lincoln Lending, and Casa Fresca Homes. Thank you for listening, guys. Don't forget we're a podcast as well. Check us out on iHeartRadio and have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Yay.
Boom. Nailed it. Thank you, James. I kept your seat warm, Javier. All right.
Okay.
Sweet. Let's get a